Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GMO Show. Now, the GMO Show is getting out there and really higher up people, I guess you could say, people in the business that have noticed the GMO Show. Let me just go through some credentials here. He's played with Snoop Dogg on his albums, wrote songs with Snoop. He's been with Warren G. He's had gold albums. He was on Dog Pound. And he's also done a remix with Dr. Dre. He started out with the Dramatics, writing songs for them, producing everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to wait no longer. Welcome, T. Money Green.
What up, though?
How you doing, man?
Welcome, GMO. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to meet you. It's so cool to meet heavyweight people, man.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm like Bogart and playing my bass,
No.
but I'm practicing. This bass day's coming up soon, and I don't want those little young guys to turn me out, so I have to practice all the time.
I used to piss my friends off because I'd be playing. They're like, "You're not listening to me." Yeah, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I have to stay practicing it all the time.
Always. So now you were telling me earlier that you pretty much raised Snoop.
Well, I got there when he just was starting.
Yeah.
And that was fun because he was young, quiet, and but he really could do his thing in the studio, man.
I understand he's a real kind-hearted dude too.
Yeah, really is.
Really
I mean,
cool.
he just got the bad rep when the murder trial happened, but he
Oh,
he
that
got
stuff.
off.
Yeah. You know how.
You know what I
it
like?
is.
I like this. I seen on Facebook one day they had Martha Stewart and they had Snoop, and it said one of these people are a felon.
It
You
was
know what I mean?
Martha.
It's Martha, right? It wasn't Snoop, right?
And then you were telling me about, I asked you if you met Michael Jackson, and tell him what you just told me.
Yeah, where I live, Monica and Outer Drive area, Marvin Gaye had the corner house.
Awesome. Oh,
Back
my
in the
God.
early 70s, Marvin Gaye was there. And so, the Jacksons came, they used to have a lot of the Mowtown parties there.
Sure.
Because Anna Gaye lived there with him. And man, it was just really fun. Marvin used to throw the football to us.
Wow.
Because, I didn't know he was almost going out for the Lions.
Really?
Back in the day, yeah.
Wow.
Marvin was a good football player.
Wow.
Yeah, he just didn't pass probably the drug test. But he's still amazing. Hey, he did. He passed every other test.
But that's cool. I mean, I want myself, the GMO Show, what I'm after here is to create a community like that again, where I'm throwing the football to somebody, to Kid Rock, go long. I said, go long,
Right.
and yell at him like a friend, not somebody that I'm trying to kiss his butt.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, I want it to become more like that,
Yeah, there's too much going on with the little cliques, and I'm the cliques stomper.
Or click
I'm calling people.
There you go.
I'm calling people out.
Oh.
I'm calling them out, and they don't like it. But I don't like that you're clicking up. All you're doing is you're trying to get everybody on this side, and all that does is there's a whole lot of people over here that's not going to get any action.
Sure, and that's why, I mean, anybody who gets a hold of the show, what we do is we listen to your music. You got to give us, references, where to go, Facebook or whatever, something to see who you are. Like the next band that's going to be on after you.
Yeah.
I went and watched all their stuff, Shotgun Soul. I watched
I'm
them.
familiar with them,
and I'm like, wow. And I keep bugging them. I'm going to keep bugging them until they leave the show. Is they got to come up with an actual sound, a word for their sound, because it's something I haven't heard from Detroit before.
Yeah.
Liz is a powerhouse singer.
Yeah, she is.
They got a horn section. So, just create a community where, like I've said this before on the show, where we can all go hang, a cafe.
Yeah, man. Because what Detroit is about, it was 20 or 30 stars at one time. It's just not one or two.
And they all shared.
Everybody hung out, man.
Yeah.
I mean, now
everybody hung out.
They try these little clicks, and like I said, as soon as I catch it, I'm always stepping in, calling you out, putting you all on Facebook. You're mad at me.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but it don't stop the royalties that I made.
A lot of people are not. Well, I guess want to be in the cliques that are wannabe or whatever, the things that are going on around here, and it's because they feel if they're not going to be included.
Right.
But I mean,
guess what? The clique not going to include you anyway. They just got you hanging around and you following around, hoping to be included one day.
Exactly.
They're not including you.
No, exactly, and that's so. If you're a musician and you think you're good, come on in this show and prove it to everybody.
Right. Yeah, there you go, like this.
There you go. Now T,
prove it, man.
Exactly. Now T has been on like some of my favorite stuff. I mean, I hear California all the time. If you go to 105,
like this Gin and Juice.
Gin and Juice.
And I make bass lines up. I'm not a guy who I did the local thing 14, 15, 16 years old. Then I got with the Dramatics at 17, so it was
Wow.
I didn't know anything that was playing on the radio other
Right.
than our stuff. So I'm not a guy who learns records. The only reason now, and with my band is Roadwork, T Money Green's Roadwork.
Okay.
We do my G-Funk review is all of the songs that I played on with Dre and Snoop and them, like Motor City, California Love. I call it Motor City Love.
Okay.
And what it is because a lot of people don't know that that's me on there. But I couldn't do those songs had I not played on them because I'm not a cover band type of guy.
Right, right.
When people call me to the studio, they just have a drum beat and it's like, T, what do you hear?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I might listen to it for a minute and say, man, that's... And they're like, man, that's it. That's what I wanted.
And these cats give you credit for it and a cut for it and everything?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I have to get my money from you right then on the spot.
Because a lot of people once they start making it big, the first thing they try to do is get people to help them out, but they cut them out.
Yeah, no.
And that's not right.
No, I like to just be included. If it's your song, hey, I'm just a part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me my percentage. You got yours, and that's how we do.
I guess actually, I don't know if our audience knows this. Isn't it when you read a CD and you see the names underneath the song,
right.
the placement of the song, who had the most, the first name has the most to do with it? Isn't that what it is?
That's what I used to think, but not really.
Oh, really?
No,
it doesn't matter.
No, because there's a lot of songs that with 33 and a third equal partners, or it might be 25, 25, 25.
Okay.
And the thing is, if that's the case, then everybody's name is just the same. Back in the day, you look up.
Well, because I remember looking, if you look at the Beatles, you got Lennon, McCartney, then McCartney, Lennon, then Ringo, McCartney, Lennon.
Yeah.
And somebody told me at one time that's who had most to do with writing the song. Name goes first.
Yeah, well, what it is, when you saw McCartney, Lennon, they were probably 50-50.
Oh, yeah.
On the song. So it didn't matter, but now when you've seen another name, okay, yeah, but I've never known that to be a situation where, the person that hooked it up or brought,
Explain work for hire to a lot of musicians out there who are thinking of doing work for hire.
Well, work for hire means you just get that money that you're getting tonight and don't look for nothing else.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's really it.
That's it. So if you're going to come into a studio and cut some bomb tracks for somebody,
right,
you better make sure it's not just work for hire.
Right, and if it is work for hire, because I'm not going to tell you not to do that, because sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You got to feed the kids,
bills,
right?
Yeah.
And you got to do so. But what I will say is to emphasize that they have to have your credit, at least your credit on the project, because you can take that and say, hey, yeah, I'm on the new Lola Morales, or I'm on the new, and I've been on all these guys. Dennis Coffey's new record, I'm playing about 5 or 6 songs. And, and I told him the same thing, because they didn't pay.
Right.
But it was like, hey, if it turns out to be good. And I'm like, look, I know that story. Yeah. Let's don't worry about that. Yeah. Let's just make sure my name
is on it.
His credit is on there. And if somebody asks you who's on bass, just tell them Tony Green is on bass. Did
you ever jam with Marvin and those guys? Did you ever get in Mowtown and do anything for them?
No, because we were, that was
too
the
young.
Yeah.
I still think that it's cool as all get out.
Well, one day,
growing up, I grew up in the burbs, and I always just think, man, I just love to be there,
Yeah. Well, we took me and my guitar player one time. The Jacksons had a show that was going to come on TV. And so we told Marvin we wanted to play for him, and he said, all right. So we took our stuff over there, but we said we're gonna look at the Jacksons first and then come back and play. Well, the Jacksons kicked so much butt, man, that we just went back over and was like, well, we're gonna practice up some more. So we got our instruments and took it back. He's like, you're not gonna play? No, not this time. We're gonna wait and get it together, because the Jacksons was killing it.
Oh man!
And then my dad is a musician, and he killjoy anything. I said, Dad, man, Jermaine is killing you on bass, man. You ain't a bass player. He's playing. My dad would say, he's killing me, huh? And I said, yeah. He said, well, look at his plug. And I look, and there's no cord in it.
Oh, was it plugged in?
Yeah. And I'm like, I guess he's not killing you. My dad would just break it to you right, man. Don't have you make believing.
Dad told you right there on the spot.
Like,
no,
he's not even plugged in.
Yeah, he didn't even write that track.
Right. So this has been 45 years for me in the business and the Dramatics. I would have never known. I didn't know anything about rap when I got with Dr. Dre.
Really?
I had heard things, but I was too R&B. I was one of those old guys saying, hey, that rap music will be gone before you know it. Don't even worry about it.
From that point on, it blew up. It was just,
It's huge. So I would have never even thought about Dre and none of that stuff, but I was, at the time, managing David Ruffin Jr.
Okay.
His dad had died, and
Sure.
and I had him with the dramatics, and he would get a moment of silence for his daddy, and then he would bring the dramatics out. So it was just time for somebody to quit the dramatics, man. We was just rolling up and down the street.
Yeah.
You know, the 2 shows a month maybe.
Yeah.
You know, not enough to even pay a bill. You would just pay on a bill.
Yeah.
And I was like, somebody's got to go. We got to go. It's too much drugs, too much nothing going on.
Right.
So I just took a chance and quit and said, David, let's, go to California. I knew I had my cousin out there, so I knew I had some place to sleep. I wasn't going to wind up on the ground.
Yeah, you at least got to
as long as you know that.
To lay your head.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
that's most important.
That's,
but we went out and one day, and Warren G was there, and David is their age.
Okay.
So he ran to him and told him what he did, and he said, my manager plays bass. So they came over, and Warren said, hey, call my brother. He needs bass. You should call him. He loves bass. And so I was like, well, who's your brother? And then David was mad. He was like, Dr. Dre, I taught you all of this. And I'm like, okay. So we called Dre for a week and never got an answer back.
Yeah.
But that following week, man, the phone rang probably about 8:30 in the morning, man. He was like, can I speak to T. Green? And I said, it's T. Green. He said, it's Dr. Dre. You play bass. And I said, yeah, man.
That's a smart move for him, too.
Yeah, and he said, hey, can you come down to the studio? So we went down to the studio, and they had that record, Nothing But a G Thing, Baby. Mm-hmm. Huge, right?
Yeah.
And he said, do you know this song? I said, man, I know it. I haven't learned it. I can learn it real quick.
Yeah, I know the guitar riff. Yeah.
He said, no, I want to hear what you would have played.
Oh.
And I played about 40 different bass lines right quick, man, on that same
he just
beat.
went,
he's like, I got to have you right now.
It probably said, I forgot you're from Detroit.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, man.
Anybody could put the bottom in music.
Man, hungry,
Detroit.
yes.
Oh,
and man, I'm on a couple hundred other rap, the West Coast rap songs. DJ Quick, the Dog Pound,
I
everybody.
know that probably every day I hear a song that you've been on.
Everything, Regulate,
You've actually, because I'm in the morning, I'm always 92.3, 105, because it's just too early for rock, and then I kick into rock around 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm more awake.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I'm on a bunch of songs, and I hear it all the time. And my friend, Shadow, that works for, the Fillmore, he's like, man, I heard you on The View this morning. He'd always tell me the different things. And I'm like, well, those songs are classic songs. And that's why I created the G-Funk Review, where I come out and play these songs.
Okay.
And it's like a big sing-along because everybody know them. Now, we do them clean, mind you. But everybody in the audience is cussing anyway. So, but I said I wanted to do it clean in case the kids, but the parents are cussing in front of the kids anyway.
That's their fault. Yeah,
and then they seeing the kids like, the kids are like, Mom, why are you going so crazy on this? Hold on, this is my jam.
Sit down, this is my turn.
Right,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's what I like about it.
Do you want to, you got a website? You want to look at the camera and give it your website there?
I tell you what. Well, Edward Tony Green, Facebook. And then we got the Reverb Nation, T Money Green is on 2 different Reverb Nations page. One for the G-Funk Review and one for all of our original music, because I have tons and 2,000 original songs and masters.
And they're cut already, aren't they?
They're cut, yeah. I got about 300 of them already mixed and mastered from over the years. So what I like, though, because some of the greatest songs that I have from the 90s era, is a lot of that is coming out, a lot of movies.
Right.
Like Boys in the Hood and those kind of movies are coming out.
Okay.
And I got music just sitting, man. So I'm going to license a lot of this music out,
Yeah. Well, Team Money, thanks so much
for
coming
thanks for having me on the show.
That is so great, man.
I appreciate it.
Everybody, Team Money. Okay, we're going to take a short break here for a minute, and we'll be right back with Shotgun Soul.